we don't mind getting more of these units. I mean, shit, when you consider the live service model, you want new units to feel a sense of progression in the game. That's a positive, especially if they're all aesthetically good. Whatever you pull, it's a solid unit for your account. That's a W. But the problem becomes there's layers to RNG to obtain said unit. I want those gone. So that way I have an easier time getting it. But the value of the characters being the way they are is a positive. And this is the difference between some of us in the Woo sphere and you. That's why you're getting flamed and we're not. Fudge. So here I am. I was literally, I lied to you, I'm not, ladies and gentlemen. I was literally about to do my dailies in NGA. I just finished the ones in Wuthering Waves. I was wondering about something too. I'll make a video about it, a short video just real quick soon, about something in Wuthering Waves kind of snuck up on us. We didn't see that one coming. We're gonna have to talk about it real quick. But there I am minding my own business until I see that this was recommended for me. My brutally honest thoughts on the state of Woowa final video on the matter from Analytical Vibes. He made a response to the response, and right off the bat, in case you haven't noticed, the like and dislike ratio is disabled. That's not a good sign. I don't know what you know about YouTube, but when a YouTuber does that, that's not a good sign. Is the comments disabled? The comments are not disabled. Thank God. I'm not gonna see them because I don't know what this is. I have no idea what's going on. I already made the content today. You can see here my Premiere Pro is open. I'm editing. I'm just finishing up everything, and then this shows up. By the way, shouts out to Saint Tontas for making him an Enviosity, bro. That shit. He plagiarized me. This is what I did to Fox Soul back in the day. But oh no. So yeah, Analytical Vibes made another video. He disabled the like and dislike ratio, which tells me one thing. Analytical Vibes, what I'm about to say is from a place of care. Genuinely. I don't know what train you're in, just get off. Because you are doing some of the most pussy shit I've ever seen in this space. Your behavior is generational aura loss for future generation and past generations. I think even your ancestors laying in the grave are just looking at that going, oh, fuck. I won't even be remembered now because of this dumb ninja. That's literally what the ancestors in the damn grave are saying, man. So I need you to calm down, man. You need to breathe. You need to learn a very important lesson in life. I know. You ready? I'm about to teach you some. Listen up. So this is some wisdom. You ready? One of the best lessons in life is to learn how to take the L. Sometimes you just lose, man. You cannot win them all. You cannot win them all. And I understand the desire to win them all when you consider the space we're in and how, let's just say, devastating it is to lose and how important it is to just keep winning in the eyes of a certain type of, let's just say, audience. But the whole point of us as creators, as people, the whole point of YouTube as a concept was people could find, certain type of entertainment that they can relate to. It's just a guy like them. Yes, the formula has changed recently, but the origin of YouTube is that. And just like the people watching us, they make mistakes too. We make mistakes too. That's the whole point. That is the whole point. We're all in our individual journeys. We share this passion for these video games. We share a space. We're interacting with each other. That's amazing. But we both understand, whether it's the audience or the creators, that some people make mistakes. We make mistakes. Then everybody makes mistakes. And backing each other up when we make mistakes is what I would say socializing is all about. Learning, making yourself a better person. That's what this is all about. So I don't know why you're so rigid in just taking the damn L. Just take it. I remember Saint, me, everybody was kind of in the position you were in. No one was as combative as you are because you are just blatantly wrong, man. A lot of the arguments you push for Wuthering Waves were wrong. Some of the stuff about Genshin was correct. The Cyberpunk collab, yeah, sure, there's an argument to be had there. There's a conversation to be had there. It doesn't mean you're necessarily at right 100%, but there could be some back and forth, and we could all respect each other's opinions on the matter and go from there. But the fact of the whole bike skins and stuff like that, and the skin, let's just say, complaints you have for Wuthering Waves, that's just not it, man. That's just not it. That's not what the community and the track record shows of factual data we have on what the community has been requesting from the video game developers. You're just wrong, and it's fine, and that's what you're really being called out for. But now you're now becoming the butt of a joke because of how rigid you are, because of the behavior you're exhibiting. This is pathetic. You're being pathetic. I need you to wake the fuck up right now, bro. Because I like you. I think you're a good dude, and I think you're very smart too. I just don't know where you got your street smarts. You're not cooking. Just pause. Take a breath. Pause. Take the L, or just keep it pushing. But like, you coming back here a third time tells me you are very emotionally invested in this. I understand it. I've been on your shoes. I know exactly how strong of an emotional reaction you're going through. I get it. I do. But I'm gonna need you to even still calm, because that's what I did. I remember being called out. I even got called out recently and all that stuff. They're wrong. I could easily, fire back and behave and participate in the very problematic behaviors we see in the space. I chose not to. I can easily dunk and win. I choose not to, because that's the power. That's your power. That's where your real. That's where true power is. Participating in this childish drama mannerism is just dumb. That's just dumb. Like, you just lose aura. Like, sometimes you win by just taking the L. That's the best W you can catch at that point, because you gotta know when to cut your losses. You gotta know that there's an art to that too. In investment, I think some of the things they say is know when to quit, know when to let go, know when to sell the bag. You're not supposed to always be a holder. You're supposed to at some point know when to sell. It's very important, even at a loss. You gotta know, because that loss could become a bigger loss if you're not smart enough. And obviously you don't know when to sell. So here we are. So anyway, I guess we're gonna have to check this out. Sorry, Hattori, we're gonna need a minute, baby. Why don't you stop time for while Daddy gets home? Oh, and also the excuses you made as to why this is happening. Bro, it's super cringe, super corny. I get it. You're trying to make sense of everything because you just cannot accept that it's your fault. You cannot accept that it's your ego that's got you in trouble. You're trying to make excuses that would make sense to why the response and the backlash is anything but you making a mistake. You're trying to rationalize it by it being something else. Just stop. Like, you please just stop.
It's clear that by now we are just banging our heads against the wall. No matter how many dislikes or comments you write, I won't change my mind. And no matter how many videos...
Then why is this disabled? Why is this disabled then? If you're such a tough guy, why is this disabled? So that you don't want people to have that perspective. You don't want to see that people to see that you are actually wrong. You're trying to win some people over as much as possible. So I see what you're doing. But I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to be harsher because you keep doing this shit. We're going to need you to calm the hell down, because the more you do, the more aggressive everybody's going to be towards you, man. You're just making things worse. You're digging your own grave. It's sad.
I make, I won't change yours. So we're just gonna have to agree to disagree and move on to greener pastures. However, there are two final things I want to say about this before closing the chapter on this completely. I want to reply to one specific comment, and the next thing is I want to talk about how this applies to you, because it seems as though it's been lost in translation how this affects you. I've been reading so many comments that say, I'm a free-to-play player, Kuro adds 1 billionth skin, oh no, anyway, and it's clear that it's been lost in translation how this affects you. I would like to respond to a comment that says, man complains about endless Kuro skins and accessories. Same man, asterisk, owned. Now this is a particularly hilarious comment because it's presuming that I own all of the skins as I'm talking about them and complaining about them. Listen, I'm a resolute guy in my opinion, but I laugh at myself all of the time. Just because I have my opinions doesn't mean I'm serious all of the time. And I really want to talk about this comment. I don't know where it is now because there's like 1,000 comments, but this comment brings up a good point because I love Wuthering Waves. I love Wuthering Waves. a great
Me
deal.
too.
And it's true. I own every skin. I own every character, every weapon. I have S2 of characters, certainly S2 of every Sentinel Resonator and their signature weapon too. I've explored every region. I've completed all of the contents. I have 99% achievements. I've done everything in the game. I am John Waves. This is important because I'm not speaking about Wuthering Waves as an outsider looking in, nor am I hating on the game. I am the Wuthering Waves customer talking about the game and giving you my
100%.
honest
We're
takes,
with you
and at
there.
the very least, you'll
Yeah,
know
me
I'm
too,
always
man.
being
Me too.
honest.
So you're trying to frame the narrative of we're friendly firing. I don't think we are. When it comes to that one take, 'cause here you gotta see. Here's the thing: you're trying to make it a general, let's just say a general attack, like we're attacking you specifically. I've seen some of the, there's some parts of the community, the kudu bats. The kudu bats are just very hostile. They just need to find something to dunk on and be aggressive towards. They're these jobless, lost souls that don't have much. They don't have much else better to do in their day. They found you. You're an easy dunk. Yippee! You're their treat for the next week. They get to feel better about themselves through someone. Like I keep preaching in this channel, it's a bunch of people that love to grandstand and just find any type of argument to dunk on someone to feel better about themselves because they are lost souls. Because the reason why I'm saying that, of course, because you see the way they're going about feeling validation in their own daily lives. Because I feel like if you want to validate yourself, you should do it in different areas that are more healthy for your own lifestyle, more than you dunked on someone over a video game that sells anime girls that's predatory to both y'all. Wow, you're a big man, aren't you? Ooh, oh boy.
This is important because...
Oh, hold on, I haven't finished it. But besides those people, for normal Woo players, like you said, the customers like myself, looking at the take you have made for the Hoyo Shield take, where you said that this is pathetic, like the banners aren't good enough, so that way you have to resort to skins. Like, what the fuck is this? That is the biggest Hoyo Shield take we've ever heard, my man, and it's just false. It's just false. Looking at the data, it's just false. Wuwa is doing its thing. It's cooking. We're eating good, my man. We're just eating good. Skins have been shown and have proven to be another avenue for revenue for these gacha companies, especially summer skins. Some focus more on them, like NTE, but for the Hoyo formula, they're slow, few and far between, but they do them anyway because they can monetize an already existing product even more. Why wouldn't they? Why would you throw away expired milk when you can make yogurt out of it? Why would you, let's just say, throw away the iPhone 10 when you can just repackage it and sell it again? It's just smart business, right? So your argument just doesn't make any sense. It's just complaining about fire burning and water putting out fire. I'm sorry, yeah, sure, it sucks if you like fire, but that's just the way the universe works. Take it up with God or something, I don't know.
Or talking about the game.
Because this is not one of the things, because here's the thing. I understand if maybe skins should be free, we should have different avenues to obtain skins. Yeah, sure, we can have a conversation there. But you're talking about the very concept of it being a problem. And for it being, let's just say, a negative towards Kuro's and Wuthering Waves' performance as a video game, especially in terms of its popularity. You do realize through the Cyberpunk collab, Wuthering Waves has broken new records, right? This is almost unheard of for a 3.5 game. So what are we really trying to paint here? Because the data doesn't support what you're trying to say in a lot of aspects when it comes to your take about the game and the skins specifically. So yeah, the rest is, like I said, for the Cyberpunk collab, once again, there's a conversation to be had there with you. The Genshin one, predatory with Mavuika and stuff, I'm with you there 100%. That was a huge complaint people had. But just because you have one good take, a take that's open for discussion, doesn't necessarily mean that the third one is going to be correct as well. That's not what's happening here, my man.
And giving you my honest takes, and at the very least, you'll know I'm always being honest.
Also, this skin, man. God dang!
This is important because it seems as though we're all expressing...
By the way, this is the best summer skin next to Lene. These are the best skins, hands down.
Love in different ways. If you have a best friend and your best friend walks out the house and maybe they didn't brush their teeth, maybe they didn't shower, or all manner of ways.
Yeah, you gotta let them know.
Do you say something to that best friend?
Of
You
course
can
you
choose not to say something and then claim you love that best friend. But in my opinion, we can express love in different ways. You don't have to be confrontational. You don't have to say anything mean. You can just pull the person aside and say, hey man, how you doing? what's going on? Did you know about so-and-so? I love Wuthering Waves in both ways. I've created many videos talking about what your Wuthering Waves waifu says about you, a whole bunch of playful, entertaining videos that aren't meant to be taken seriously. And I've made other Wuthering Waves videos as well. For example, a video criticizing negative status, the worst design mechanic in the game. This was around the time with Zani and Phoebe, and it was really bad, but they've since perfectly fixed it. Then I made a video called People Say Wuthering Waves is Good, so why is everyone quitting?
Well, that's the whole point of critiquing, so that's just a W. W Kuro, WU for pointing it out. That's the type of dynamic I love to see, man. I don't know what they were talking about there. I wasn't really around. I was busy being homeless at the time when this was happening. But yeah, man, this is that's what I love to see, man. This is the Kuro I know and love.
I mean, wow, you want to go through all of my greatest hits? I mean, I am going in. And then I made a video called Why Wuthering Waves Makes Less Money Than Genshin. Jesus.
It's just popularity. We all know it.
It can't be stopped. I give you literally both sides of the game. All of the incredible designs, animations, aspects of the game, and other aspects of the game that other people don't talk about that seems to be hidden from sight because, I don't know, people just don't like talking about all of the things that are in the game. I believe that both of them are expressions of love. Now, when you're talking to a real person, you don't have to be aggressive like I'm being in a video because I'm doing this all for entertainment. In real life, you need to be polite to other people, as am I. But in a video, I'm just playing it up for content, for entertainment. So let's not get this twisted. I love Wuthering Waves a lot. I love the game just as much as you, and let's not get that mistaken at all. I've been seeing a lot of comments that say, how do these optional skins affect me as a free-to-play player that doesn't spend any money? Here's how. I will explain this as succinctly as possible. These skins are a representation of Kuro's mindset. From this point onward, I will call this mindset all gas, no brakes. Recently, Kuro has been releasing more and more content, more characters, more...
This can only end well.
Skins.
I had to brace myself because I'm bracing right now.
More bike skins, more accessories, more. And on the surface, this all seems like a really good thing. After all, who doesn't want to consume more content, more characters, more skins of a game that they love? Except there are consequences for doing this. For one, the more characters that Kuro releases, the more they have to justify why they want you to summon for these characters. This has led to a sharp increase in both HP inflation and power creep in the recent months. If recently you've tried to complete any endgame within the last few months, usually you would have completed it quite handily with your current cast of characters. But then you try to complete it now, and now you're only doing it with 10 seconds left. Why is that? That's strange. All gas, no brakes. Recently, you've probably seen all of the new amazing looking characters in the game. Yang Yang, Su Ming, Sui Sui, H-Sin, they all look great. And you're just thinking to yourself, 100%. Man, what am I going to do? I like so many of these characters and I can't get all of them. And then you're feeling a little bit discouraged. Why is that? All gas, no brakes.
Who's going to tell him? No one? No? Okay, fine, I'll tell him. That's kind of what gacha games do. Yeah, it's the product. That's their business model. They release new characters. They're all good looking. Okay. Looking at the roster here, the only one that's somewhat skippable is Swimming to me. I think for the average guy like me, Swimming is going to be the easier to skip because she's the less feminine and also doesn't farm much aura. Jingron, of course, we gotta pick him up because it's a dude character. We all know those are few and far between. The rest of the girls are just super, oh my god, I just gotta get them all. So there is that one skip character that we just hope that her kit isn't very important. Because I feel like one thing, okay, I know I might catch some bullets for this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. One of the things Genshin does right is that they always make a skippable character. They do that on purpose. We all know what I'm talking about. If you're coming from Genshin Impact, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They make deliberately certain characters weird, just somewhat weak. Their aesthetics isn't really that pleasing for a good reason. It's a breath of fresh air so that you can just skip. If you are a whale, you'd like to have every character, here's more power to you. If you're free to play, you can safely just skip and save your resources, man. We got you. That used to be amazing. I used to love that about Genshin Impact. I used to love that shit. Wuwa doesn't necessarily have that, and I'm kind of with you there. But you're forgetting something very important. Wuwa is a 3-character game. It is. People tend to forget about this. Wuwa is a 3-character game. As long as these characters can synergize with previously existing units within the roster, this is a non-issue. The only time this is going to be a problem is if they follow the same Phoebe, Zani, Karthithia, Chikona formula, where they have to come packaged with both 2 units. You need 2 units to make one team work. Now we have a problem. That's a problem. That's where a lot of people started complaining about how Wuthering Waves goes about doing its characters. Especially like there's all of them and we want all of them, because another thing, like they don't give us a break, man. Like I said, like also like Swimming, it looks like a 5-star Danjin, and like this petite bratty, she has fanboys too. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. I just said like for the average guy, but some players are probably gonna be picking everything. And so when you take that into consideration, 3 characters, we still don't know if all of them are going to require each other to even work. As long as we don't have that information, there's a cause for concern. I see what you're trying to say, but we don't know that yet. That's the thing. Just calm down. This is no reason to be a Debbie Downer in us not being excited for the roster of units. Now, if you were to complain about the 50-50 system, I'm with you there. If you're gonna complain about the new goddamn banner for all the 1.0 characters who didn't even get no buffs, getting a free temple when we don't get that free temple for the Sui or the Yang banner, I'm with you there 100%. That's some bullshit. Yeah, woo on something there. I'm with you. That's what I'm complaining about. That's where the majority of the Wuthering Waves community is at. We're like, what the fuck are y'all doing over there? That's a problem. Where the fuck is the echo fixes? What the fuck is the transducer still doing in the game? We want to talk about that shit. See, what you're doing here is a bit. It could be an issue, just like it could be a non-issue. So it really just becomes this a Debbie Downer take, where you just get in the way of excitement. Our take, for example, in this corner of the streets, I'm still getting dislike bombed, by the way, when it comes to that. Because, you can't complain about Wuthering Waves. Ooh, scary, the boogeyman, the kudu bats. Very pathetic, by the way, Jesus Christ. Like, they're just friendly firing over here, because like I feel like the complaints are as valid as they can be, and them being fixed is just good for everybody. But those make sense because that affects each and every free-to-play player, because if there's no 50-50, if a 10 pull was there, it just helps everybody, right? And free-to-plays are the majority of the player base. Skins only affect spenders, and spenders, believe it or not, are not necessarily the majority in these games. I know, it's shocking. How are they making this much money? But they do. It's a small, like, these games are very big, and those are only from a minority of the player base, probably like 30 to 40%. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So I feel like what I'm trying to say here is most of the criticism coming to you is because of this doesn't affect the majority. A lot of players cannot relate to the issue you're complaining about, and also because of that, it makes it that you have a Debbie Downer type of approach where you don't even allow players to feel excited about this. This is not as pressing as you might think. The reason why I haven't got flamed as you did, despite me also complaining about certain aspects of the gacha in Wuthering Waves, is because mine remains somewhat valid. I just dare to be, let's just say, negative at a time where people just want to be positive and be hype about the game. And also, the kudu bats, we gotta, hey, how dare you? That's it. But this is the difference between me and you. So, because I've been negative as well, but I didn't even get half, not even a fourth, a quarter of what you got here, man. There's a reason why, and I think you can tell the difference.
Can't get all of them, and then you're feeling a little bit discouraged. Why is that? All gas, no breaks. Maybe you play Wuthering Waves casually, or maybe you actually played the game a lot, but recently you felt as though you've been getting left behind a little bit. You're like, how is that possible? You played the game regularly, and yet it's still leaving you behind? How? I'll tell you how. All gas, no breaks. Kuro didn't use...
The only reason why I feel I'm broke now is because I just got every single character. And you can't necessarily do that as a free-to-play plus, considering the 50-50 system. If you lose the 50-50, like, that's it. And you got to understand, I'm broke. And despite me getting earlies and winning 50-50s. And I'm still broke. But that's not that much of a big deal. Because, for example, Lucy, well, I already got Rebecca. They gave it to me for free. Yippee. Easy. That's an easy team to play. Lucilla, well, I wanted her since day one, since she's been announced. She was the hottest of the bunch. So obviously, we were going to get Lucilla. But the problem is she needed the rectifier. She's a rectifier user. I had to get the SIG. Fuck. She becomes very expensive. And I already have the Hayuki in the team. in my roster of characters. So that's more incentive for me to get her, and I have a very powerful team. I think it's a tier 0 unit, tier 0 team. More power to me. And that's it. That's it. But now, because I have been doing this since 3.0 has released, I'm running out of resources, like I should. What the fuck you mean? You're gonna get a SIG with the character as a free-to-play plus? Are you out of your mind? The whole point of being a free-to-play, you typically don't get SIGs. You get one SIG once in a blue moon. Like once you have gathered as much as through the whole shop reset in every patch. You know, you get 7, and you keep piling those up until one day you can get a SIG. But if you get multiple SIGs like I did, because I had to get one for Denia, she was also a stupid rectifier user, so that broke me. Now I'm screwed. Because I could have had 70 more pulls in my account had those bitches weren't rectifier users. That's the problem, right? I'm tired of rectifier users. Swee's a rectifier user. I hope we can just slap a free-to-play option. Also, where the fuck are the free 4-star secondary options like the one we had with Phoebe? You guys remember with Phoebe? We had this 4-star rectifier that's like events, you get it, you just get it. Where the fuck is that? I could use that. I'm tired, man. I'm broke. I need some help. I can't just keep getting the best in slot because they happen to be a rectifier user. It's too big of a difference. Fuck, it's these rectifier users, man. They're killing me.
To be like this. In fact, in the past, Kuro used to give players actual rest periods, long ones and multiple ones, back to back, in order to give you an opportunity to recuperate. In the beginning, we had Shorekeeper debut by herself in 1.3. Then we had Camellia debut by herself the next patch in 1.4. 2 characters debuting by themselves back to back. That would be inconceivable today, because then today you would actually be able to get both characters. We had Cantarella 2.2 by herself, Furlova 2.6 by herself, Chisa 2.8 by herself. All of these characters, every few months, Kuro would give you a rest period in order for you to recuperate. But
well, they did that with Sugrika. I think 3.2 was Sugrika, right? Hold on. Yeah, it was Sugrika. So I guess they changed that here, because now we have Yang Yang and Sui. I'll be honest, I think they just stopped themselves from doing this. I think Yang Yang was supposed to be free. I'm dying on that hill. I think she was supposed to be free, and then it was like, why would we make it free? That's just me though, because okay, so apparently the formula is changing for 3.6.
0.6 by herself, Chisa 2.
Wait, pause. We're at 3.5 now, right? Wait, hold on. I'm tripping balls. Yeah, fuck. Well, hold on. Wait, pause. Maybe in 3.6, it'll be the same as 2.0. 2.2, we had 3.2, one character. 3.6, well, it could be one character too, and there's a good chance it will. You know what? Let's do the math. We're gonna go the extra mile. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and there's a Sin. So it's 6 characters. We have 6 total characters. Okay, so 6 total characters. We're gonna go all the way to 0.8. Okay, so 6. We're at 3.5. That's 2. So only 4 remains. If they want to spread that out, so that's 0.5. So they have 3 patches remaining. Or they can't go 2-2 because then they'll run out, or they'll have to introduce a new character. They could, but they could go 1-2-1, which would make sense considering the previously existing formula that you're trying to say here. There's a good chance what you're saying right now is exactly what they're doing right now. And it makes total sense if they would, because we've already seen this before, as you have mentioned. Okay, anyway, let's continue.
0.8 by herself. All of these characters, every few months, Kuro would give you a rest period in order for you to recuperate. But now, it's all gas, no breaks.
You're not even sure yet. And I just did the math. It would make sense if they just follow up on the exact formula as we've seen with Sugrika. There probably are. What? No!
Since 2.8, we have been going 100 miles per hour, releasing double characters every patch. The only rest we've had is 3.2 with Sugrika. But I can say that from now going on...
Okay, so he knows. Is he gonna catch? Is he gonna figure it out? God damn, Chin Xiao, man. I can't. I know a lot of people are going for Asin, but Chin Xiao to me, man. Oh my god. Also, legs crossed looks like Coochie still to me. I don't know how.
Based on the characters they've revealed, I don't see any rest period in the future at all. Especially since Yang Yang and Sui just came out. We just had Cyberpunk collab right now with Lucilla. The patch before, we had Hiyuki and Denia. It's just an endless series of all gas, no breaks. If you think the power creep and the HP inflation is bad now, after just a few months of all gas, no breaks by Kuro, you are in for a rough time.
Yeah, wasn't that the case for 2.0 as well? Wuthering Waves banner history. So in 2.0, they started with Carlota and Rocha. Okay, so that's two characters. Next day, it was Branch and Phoebe, two characters. 2.2, it was Camellia. Cantharella, my apologies. And next in 2.3, it was the long-awaited Zani and Chacona. 2.4 had not only Carthathea, the most hyped character of the patch, but also Lupa, a very waifu character. And next we had 2.5, where they gave us a break. So it was 2.5, not 2.6, because you said 2.6, you were wrong. I guess it was 2.5. So technically in 2.5, we should have gotten a break now. They didn't give us that break. That's kind of predatory, sure. So if at this particular window, yeah, sure, we're with you there. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a break in the next patch, because here in 2.6, this was very predatory. All right, let's be honest. Augusta and Iono, the trailer, how powerful they are, the aesthetics. It was just so hard not to get both, bro, in the same patch. Oh, nah. So there was that. And in 2.7, once again, actually, holy shit. In 2.7, again, they released two characters that work amazing together. So yeah, but at least for these, here's the beauty of this. It's like what I said earlier. They're not necessarily reliant on each other. It's not the same as Zani and Carthathea. See, Zani and Carthathea are one thing, but Augusta and Galbarena are a different thing, because you can get away with other options in the teams. For those, like the power difference is just insane from the best in slot to the non-best in slot. These are not that different, and it makes it more tolerable. And so in 2.8, of course, we all take a huge break, much needed break, because of the new roster and everything. And so we only had Shisa. So all in all, I think we can safely say that what I'm preaching here is probably accurate, because this is just the formula they're going with. Obviously, the 0.5 changed a little bit, considering also we just came out of the Cyberpunk collab. It's like, goddamn, they're riding us a little too hard. But I think next patch, there's a good chance we will catch a breather. Gotta be. Just gotta be. So that way, with the next patch afterward, we're hit with 2 new bangers. And then for the final one, we have one more character breathe a bit as we embark in a new journey.
Because the power creep is about to get so bad when they start releasing Sentinel Resonators for other regions. You think a single character from Mengzhou or 3.5 onward is going to be weak? I mean, these characters are going to be so strong because Kuro has not released one single weak character. You might say to yourself,
no, it's just where the buff's at. I'll be honest, I feel like the biggest complaint is just we don't mind power creep. That's just the nature of what the fuck we're doing. But it's like, can a ninja keep up? Can my old units just please keep up? For crying out loud, can we just do that? We'd really appreciate it. That's it. But power creep is this is like complaining that you walk into a pizza place and they sell pizzas. Of course they're gonna do that.
Oh man, I can't wait to skip all of these future Mengzhou characters. Okay, I mean, you might as well give up on clearing the endgame because you won't stand a chance. It's
what? I'm pretty sure. Now look, I'm not the one to speak here. I know one side is easily getting cleared by Amieth. It's easy. And Amieth is, how the fuck do you skip Amieth is beyond me, but yeah. So that's already that's one out of the way. It's just the second team. It's just gonna be the second team. I sincerely doubt that Amieth is gonna get power crept by the time of 4.0. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell, boy. So you can just pick one. And like I said, if, for example, Yang works with an already existing character, someone like Linné, for example, problem solved. I think it's problem solved. Like freaking Amieth can just work with a goddamn Lupa or shit, even a Changli, who knows? And that's it. Problem solved. So I don't know, man. I think it's and like I keep saying, this is a 3-team game, a 3-character team game. So maybe you're being a little too aggro here. Just, hold on, let's hold our horses. I see where you're coming from. Hold on.
All gas, no brakes. What's interesting about this is that the power creep and inflation that has been ramping up rapidly in the game has had absolutely no effect on me at all. I could complain about HP inflation, but because I like to be honest, because I like to be truthful, what would I really be complaining about? I mean, I'd be complaining about a problem other people are experiencing because I have no experience of having any more difficulty in content at all. But you are. I mean, I have my own personal problems with the game, as I've explained many times already, but you are. Why? Because of all gas, no brakes. When gacha games games are usually go, go, go. They usually release all of the characters. And then during a rest patch is when they release skins. It doesn't always turn out this way, but this is how it is most of the time. But recently, Kuro has been releasing 2 new skins, more accessories, and characters every patch, just going 150 miles per hour.
But the skins don't necessarily matter for the gameplay experience. Like, yeah, for the characters, we're with you there, but for the skins, for the most part, like I said before, you haven't learned your lesson. Like, the free-to-plays are letting you know in the comments, the majority of the player base is letting you know in the comments, this is a non-issue. Like, you keep adding it there like it means something, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. And here's the thing, for free-to-play plus players like myself, I culminate through the monthly pass. They give you like 300. I just save those. I think I have enough for a skin. I'm pretty sure I do. I'll just get the Lene skin, and that's it. And since the skins are few and far between, I'm fine. Like, I'll just sacrifice the 10 pull for the Lene skin. I think it's... did you see it? So, yeah, that's it. Like, because I can, because I'm a free-to-play plus and I'm slow, I'm, you know, it's fine. Like, it's totally fine. I can do that if I want to. It's just a 10 pull. It's not that big of a deal. It is what it is. It's not that big of a problem that to add it there is like, oh shit, it's like, oh, they're doing all this stuff where they've actively been doing that since 2.0 and the complaints weren't necessarily there because we could still somewhat navigate it to a decent degree. But let's see how, if anything, actually what I would add is this is actually a great opportunity to see if Kuro has learned from what happened previously. Because people complained about Phoebe and Zani. That was a huge complaint. Karthathea and Shakona, oh brother, especially Karthathea's signature weapon, brother. Oh my god, people complained there. They've already listened with Amieth. Amieth is you know, more easier. Like, you know, the weapon. I'm pretty sure you can just slap something from the standard and you're good. But hey, I'll be honest, man. I'll be honest. This is the opportunity to show us that they have listened in terms of character synergy not being as, let's just say, pushed in your face and as penalizing for not getting every single unit that works with one another. I think this is going to be very important.
In the past, you can reasonably get a lot of your favorite Wuthering Waves characters. Now, it's no longer possible. And if you don't get them after 3 reruns, you'll never get them again because of the rerun graveyard. Oh man, there's so much to talk about, but there's not enough time. Otherwise, the video will be too long. One way to slow down power creep is to slow down the banner schedule. You'll notice that Honkai Star Rail kind of has a little bit of a power creep problem because Honkai Star Rail has released 2 characters per patch since debut. They've only had 3 characters up until 4.0 who debuted alone. I know them off the top of my head because it's so few. Rappa, Cyrene, and Dahlia. And those last 2 just happened at the end of version 3, which is nuts, which means HSR has gone years, all gas, no brakes.
Wait, pause, what?
Who debuted alone. I know them off the top of my head because it's so few. Rappa, Cyrene, and Dahlia. And those last 2 just happened at the end of version 3, which is...
Are these reruns or something? Hold on, let me hear that again.
Honkai Star Rail kind of has a little bit of a power creep problem because Honkai Star Rail has released 2 characters per patch since debut. They've only had 3 characters up until 4.0 who debuted alone. I know them off the top of my head because it's so few. Rappa, Cyrene, and Dahlia.
Oh yeah, so they were alone in the patch. Okay.
And those last 2 just happened at the end of version 3, which is nuts, which means HSR has gone years, all gas, no brakes. That's a large reason why the game has a little bit of power creep. And Kuro is starting to release so many more...
But they kind of fixed it, because if you look at the tier list for Honkai Star Rail, they're doing okay. Yeah, they fixed it for the most part. Like, power creep isn't as, let's just say, strong as it was. It's still there, obviously. They can't get rid of it. I mean, you are at a pizza place, like I said before, but it's more tolerable. That's why I'm interested in playing it again. But then again, I really gotta have a taste for it. I'm hearing what people are saying. I'm seeing it, but I still gotta experience it. And I can't wait for that.
Characters mimicking this banner release schedule. Kuro also isn't releasing any bad characters. Characters that they push to the...
That's kind of the problem. Yeah, it's every character is a banger, and that's what makes it so hard. You're complaining that it's hard to skip. That's the complaint here. All I'm hearing is it's very hard to skip these bitches. And understandably so, man. I get it. I really do.
Standard banner for unknown reasons, or characters that come out and are pretty weak and are disappointed by the community, as sometimes other gacha games that shall not be named do. Even though we dislike these practices because we get our favorite character and they're not as good as we want, that helps stem HP inflation and power creep, which allowed another game that shall not be named to hold off on power creep for 4 to 5 years before they also went all gas.
Genshin Impact.
No brakes. In fact, a consequence of them not rerunning characters is because of all gas, no brakes as well. There's no time to sell you old characters when they need to keep pushing new characters in order to justify the power creep in order for you to get the new characters. This problem manifests problems for different people in different ways. When I see Kuro release another 2 skins, despite releasing all of these characters, I think to myself, That's interesting. That is a harbinger of doom. And then you see it and you just think, oh, I don't care. And that's fair. We all have our own opinion. But then you try to go into Tower Adversity or any endgame and you can't complete it. And everyone's stuck wondering, why is this happening? Kuro used to be a free-to-play heaven.
Well, it's a bit of a skill issue, I guess. Maybe things have changed. I know for me personally, I never really cleared 3 stars. I always miss out on 50 asteroids. And I love how the devs have deliberately made it so that the final one, so you get 80 per floor, and the final 2 is just 50. It's done on purpose. It's by design. It's for you to not really feel like, for casual players like myself that don't really want to, let's just say, invest too much mechanically within the game, that have a more casual approach towards the game. They just want to do things like I do. We don't feel as penalized, as genius, and I applaud them for that. They know exactly what they did there. It's just 50 asteroids, man. Just 50 asteroids. I know, I get it. Like, look, doesn't mean that there isn't a problem. But I think for the most part, I speak for a lot of players, it's just 50 asteroids, bro. For the most part, we don't necessarily care. We just really have a good time with the game, and that's what really matters. Now, of course, meta-wise, etc. Yeah, sure, I'm with you there 100%, but it's not really the big problem that it was before, because I feel like as players, we've also matured. For the most part, again, like obviously for the meta, sweaty tryhards, oh, this is a huge issue, and I feel for you. But I think for the most part, for the people that have waken up to the realization that ultimately all this sweating is just for 50 asteroids and feel like you are him within the game, isn't necessarily matter when you consider how the game itself wants you to have a casual approach towards it to best navigate it, because there just isn't enough content to do. You know what I mean? These approaches are kind of contradictory, and really it feels like that the third final floor, the most challenging of floors in the game, are just there for a certain type of player that just cannot do the casual approach and want more out of the game. It's there for them. But for the most part, considering what the game is trying to push you in terms of approach towards it, I'll be honest, it feels like a bit of a non-issue, because I'm hearing less people complain about it, because I have a bit of a more of a casual, chill type of audience. For the most part, most ninjas don't care. They're just like, I can, but if I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. Who cares?
All gas, no brakes. At this point, Cruel's hairs are in the air in the car saying, Jesus, take the wheel, going 200 miles per hour. The truth is, this new state will just become a matter of fact, just like it is in other games that have power creep. You just accept it, you move on, and there'll be nothing to claim about and there'll be nothing to complain about, because it'll be the new normal. However, I remember a time before. I remember a time in the past where there were breaks back to back, 2 breaks, 1 patch after another, with Shorekeeper and Camellia. We don't have that anymore. And because I remember a time before, it affects my opinion now. It's entirely possible that if you started playing Wuthering Waves in 2.8 onward, as far as you're concerned, bike skins have been in the game since the beginning, because that's all you remember when you started playing the game. I see a lot of comments by day 1 WoW players, and they 100% agree with me, because they know the game's different. Doesn't mean the game's worse, doesn't mean it's bad, but it's obviously different, and anyone who's played since day 1 could clearly see it. They can feel it. But if you started playing in the middle of
but it's good different, not bad different. What are we saying? Oh shit, is this an issue of change? Are y'all tripping because it's change? Because I know people, you know, because I said this before, and I'm starting to see that I may be on to something here, where people really seek familiarity, and when things change a little too much, people get scared, because change is scary. You gotta understand, in many aspects of your life, not just a stupid video game that sells anime girls, in many aspects of your life, change is very scary. It is. Is this just people's fear of change?
Hi, Roy. As far as you're concerned, the game is great. It's remarkable. Everything you know is how it's been since you started playing it, and that's fine. It's great. That's your experience. But some of us remember a time before. Some of us never quit Wuthering Waves and have been with the company since the beginning. And let me tell you, it's different between the beginning and now. Anyway,
I think the game is better now. I've been playing it since day 1. We're cut from the same cloth. I think the game is just better now. And I think a lot of players agree with that sentiment. Like, all in all, yeah, of course, they upped the gas a little bit. I mean, why the fuck wouldn't they? They've already done it in 2.0. It's just the nature of the formula. You don't like it, blame Genshin Impact, because it's this one setting the, you know, it's the blueprint. I blame them. But really, for the most part, we understand why this is, and this can easily be checked. You ready? I'm about to pull out the old reliable. I know some of y'all in the comments have already played this card. I'm about to play it with you. I'm about to follow up attack on you. The best approach to this is obviously to not get everything. You have to be disciplined enough to not get everything. Pick your targets. This has been the formula for Genshin since the Genshin Impact days. This is how I went about Genshin Impact. And Genshin Impact kind of helps you. And I guess his complaint is obviously Genshin helps you with that because they obviously have clear skippable character by design. These characters in Wuthering Waves, not only aesthetically but also meta-wise, are very hard to skip. They're more, let's just say, they're more desirable to want to obtain. But I feel like as long as you have two teams that can clear post-game content, you're good. You're good, man. And I'll be honest, this could be just a me experience. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below too if you feel it like that. But I have every character in the game except Sagrika. I had to pause on Sagrika. I have Karthathea. I felt like Sagrika isn't adding much to my roster of characters. She didn't feel like it was something new. And plus I checked I was waiting for Lucilla, and then they announced Hayuki and Denia. I was tough. Sagrika just had to cash. Yeah, thank you, Sagrika, by the way. I don't think I would have as much 2D anime baddies from 3.0 roster as I do now if it wasn't for Sagrika. We appreciate you, baby. I know a lot of people skipped her for the next in-line waifus. We appreciate your sacrifice, baby. We kind of regret it, though, because she's very meta, but anyway, it is what it is. We're not going to cry over spilled milk. But when you really think about it, one of the things that started detracting me from enjoying the game was actually trying to get everything. I felt stressed. I feel annoyed. I have to get all these pulls. I'm doing all this math. It started to get annoying. It started to get frustrating. I'm not enjoying the game as much anymore. You know what? Fuck them hoes. Fuck them 2D bitches. You know what? Hey, let me take a break. I'ma pick my 2D bitch. I'ma pick them, and I'ma be on target. See what my account lacks and what I feel like there's a playstyle that I resonate with the best, pick that up and put that in my pipe and smoke it. If the next two ones are as good too, I don't have the resources, well, I can pick maybe one and wait for the rerun. Who cares? It's just like you have to discipline yourself into, because here's the thing, we're in hot waters right now. And you want to swim a little differently. Like we're at the bottom of the ocean. You know what they say about the pressure in the bottom of the ocean? You can't just swim back up. You'll die. You gotta float up. You just gotta relax. The more you struggle, the harder you go at it, the more you drown. But if you just float, let Jesus take the wheel, you're better off it. Be more disciplined. Just take a breath of fresh air. It's not that big of a deal. You're not supposed to get everything if you're not spending. Never forget that. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So hopefully we can get some earlies and win some 50-50s. That'd be great. My hope is like one of the complaints, he still haven't said it. Like, can we talk about the 50-50? I feel like this is a more accentuated problem when you add in the layer of RNG that is the 50-50. We don't mind getting more of these units. I mean, shit, when you consider the live service model, you want new units to feel a sense of progression in the game. That's a positive, especially if they're all aesthetically good. Whatever you pull, it's a solid unit for your account. That's a W. But the problem becomes there's layers to RNG to obtain said unit. I want those gone. So that way I have an easier time getting in. But the value of the characters being the way they are is a positive. This is the difference between some of us in the woo sphere and you. That's why you're getting flamed and we're not.
Wait, there's only one way to really end a video like this and close this chapter entirely. I love Wuthering Waves. I love it just as much as you. It's not me hating on the game. This is me loving the game.
Well, it comes off like you are. Considering the line we have seen from the video you privated, it comes off as you are.
In another way. And I love the game in a positive way too. Both are forms of love. At least one thing is certain. When you come to this channel, you will always get what I think is true, my opinion. I'll tell it to you straight. I'll tell it to you honestly. No need for me to lie. And sometimes you'll really like it, especially when I'm talking about really positive things and it'll brighten your day.
God damn, how many millions was that? Fuck.
And sometimes you won't, but at least you'll know I'm always being honest. That's all I can offer. Thanks for watching. It's all gas, no brakes. Gas, 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 no brakes.
Okay, so I guess we can say that he's trying to come from a place of love, and this is how he's expressing his love. So you know what? Sure. All right, we'll go from there. Let's go from there. It's just that not a lot of people are gonna resonate with the way you're doing it, and that's it. But here's something you haven't done. You haven't taken accountability. whilst we can appreciate the place of care you're coming from, great, you still haven't taken accountability. You still come off with an ego. You still feel like you're right. You don't want to give any credit and credence to the feedback you have gotten. You just come off very, you know, bit of a douchebag. And when you consider the train of thought that led you here, you come off, you know, a little bit, you know, you lose a lot of ore because you just start to look stupid considering with the hill you're dying on. So, yeah. Also a bit of a pussy because let me see if he reinstated the like to dislike ratio. Maybe he's a few steps ahead of that. Hold on. Maybe he had second thoughts. Ah, so never mind. That it didn't work. My plan did not work. And well, okay, at least this video is still up, so that's a W there too. So anyway, bit of a tangent there, here and there. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I just obviously I'm passionate about this topic as well. I've since just like him, I have been playing Wuthering Waves since day one. I've been positive about Wuthering Waves since day one, but there are certain issues that are starting to be less tolerable. And I, for one, I'm ready to speak up despite me ruffling some feathers. And all in all, you know, most importantly is to always have a constructive conversation that I feel like, let's just say, afflicts most individuals, or at least it makes sense as to why we're complaining about X or Y thing, and not just, well, oh, you know, you're just some Hoyo show, because your take definitely gives credence to why Kurobots behave the way they do. The way I and some other individuals just get fired at for no reason for giving clear constructive criticism towards the game is unwarranted. So whilst, yeah, you can easily blame it on, oh, it's just a bunch of Kurubots coming at me, the reality is, even as someone that's not a Kurubot, even as someone that is that felt what it's like to be in your shoes, as in Kurubots coming at them, we're clearly not in the same ship, my man. We're not. So just wake up to this realization, please. Stop whatever this is, all right? Wake up from this douchebaggery, from this generational aura loss trend you're going at, and you know, have a come back to Jesus moment. Snap back to reality for crying out loud. So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Easy.